Good morning, ciao e buongiorno, buongiorno. Today is so special because with me I have Italian royalty. This is Valentina Abona, and her family have these wonderful wines from Italy that I just can't tell you about. It's just going to be so amazing, and if there's anybody on the planet who knows everything about the Nebbiolo grape, it's Valentina, because that's the main grape in Barolo. So, Valentina, benvenuti.
Grazie mille.
Andiamo, let's
Andiamo.
go. Okay.
Thank you, Matt. This is a beautiful introduction. I'm really excited to be able to introduce you to what my family has been doing for at least the last 6 generations now. We have 4 wines in front of us, 2 of which are Barberas, 1 Barolo, and we will end with a little Moscato d'Asti.
Love that.
Maraia is our Barbera del Monferrato. Maraia in Italian translates into little rascal because it's the most easy, approachable and funny expression of Barbera that grows in Piemonte. In Monferrato you have this beautiful sandy soil which allow a great freshness. This is all about the fruit, the juiciness, the easiness in this wine.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's very rustic. Tannic. I'm getting a lot of dried cranberries, dried cherries, forest floor, but so nicely balanced.
Absolutely.
I love this.
There is this sweet fruit that really comes through. It's one of the most versatile wines that my family makes. You can pair this with anything light you can think of,
Sure.
even with some barbecue, because it does match the spices quite well too.
Right. Antipasti, salume. You could do...
A little pasta too.
Sure.
Yeah, you can have fun with this.
Right.
Just is your little rascal at the table.
I like it. I like it.
You
This
can be
is-
creative with it.
Sure, sure, absolutely. I mean, for a beginning wine out of the 4, I'm very impressed. Which brings us to wine
The
number
Roubaix.
2. See.
Hopefully will be a growing.
Okay.
So still Barbera, but in this case Barbera is grown in Alba region. Soil here is more complex, you have more clay, more limestone, therefore more complexity, more structure
Okay.
in the wine. We add 15% of Nebbiolo in this Barbera, which is the maximum allowed by law to still have the DOC on Barbera d'Alba, which really allows the wine to move up to a different level. It is even drier, more tannic, more spicy. It adds that like funky ending, a little bit forest notes.
Right, right. I get more fruit, more black pepper, black raspberry, black cherry. I think they're getting smoother and more delicate, but the finesse is still there because this is gorgeous.
Well, Nebbiolo really adds a nice amount of elegance
Sure.
to the wine. So again, Barbera, it's a very versatile varietal. You can pair with many things. In this case, we can play with something even richer when it comes to food pairing.
Right.
So maybe some white meat, some pasta with ragu, so richer sauces.
Bistecca fiorentina.
Perfetto.
Sì.
Anything juicy is perfect
Right.
with Roubaix. Roubaix in our dialect is old root because the root of these vines are really old. They go very much down into deep.
Beautiful, beautiful. Even carciofi.
Oh, which is a interesting pairing. Usually you don't
Right.
want to pair carciofo
Right,
with wine,
right.
but this is a wine that can match very well that particular taste.
And for the viewers out there, that's artichokes. Steamed, grilled, you name it. And this would be a beautiful, beautiful pairing. Wow. So far, so good. We have 4 amazing wines, and we're going on to what people say Barolo is. It's the wine of king and the king of wines.
And do you know why that?
You tell me.
So Barolo was literally born in our cellars. The history goes back to the 1800s when Marchesi Juliette, the founder of our winery, realized the potential of the winemaking region of Piemonte. There was no winery there at the time, but she started a winery where finally the grape Nebbiolo could turn into this fine juice. It was immediately known as the King of Wine because of its elegance, the richness, the power. Yet the king of the region of Savoy, where Barolo was at the time, because Italy was not even existing as a country yet, so we're speaking before the unification, was in love with this wine and demanded for some. So Marquis Juliette sent 325 barrels all the way up to the king's court, one per day unless the 40 days of Lent, because she was truly Catholic, so she counted the drinking days for the king,
Okay.
and that's how Barolo became known the wine of kings.
Nebbiolo. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Like I said earlier, Valentina knows the most about this beautiful grape, Nebbiolo, because it's so thin-skinned, dark, delicate, hard to work with. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's just so finicky, but once you craft it into a beautiful bottle of wine, it's just ambrosia.
Well, Nebbiolo, it's a very specific variety, so very demanding in terms of terroir, soil type, microclimate. As a matter of fact, you don't have a repetition of Nebbiolo. It doesn't travel much, it stays local in Piedmont. In Barolo, it does find its most powerful expression, but from hill to hill, from vineyard to vineyard, it changes quite much. This is a very interesting representation of what Barolo is overall as a winemaking region. The wine is made by blending a number of different parcels on different hills. Every parcel is, however, worked individually, and then we bring them together so to show the uniqueness and at the same time the generosity that Barolo can show.
I like
so
that.
it is dry, it is tannic, but there is a freshness, an approachability in this particular expression of Barolo, which makes it beautiful when it comes to food pairing.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just screaming for, a big fillet or a porterhouse, but you could also tone it down and have grilled octopus or seafood, something that's...
If you add spices on, then it's
Sure.
just perfect.
Yes.
You can be quite creative and maybe adventure yourself with some exotic food, maybe some Mexican food. It will just be amazing because the way it comes down the hot from your palate is quite incredible.
Right. So that leads us to the last wine, a beautiful, beautiful Moscato, because having the Muscat grape, it's available around the world, but I think you do it best.
It's the region that
Okay.
makes it best. Here we are in Asti, where the soil is very sandy, very mineral. Therefore, even though it is a sweet wine, it's not only about the sweetness.
Right.
The sweetness is just a residual sugar from which is there by stopping fermentation. So it's the natural sugar from the grape. There is nothing added. But the crispiness, the minerality, the freshness
Right.
that this region shows is all in this wine. So you can actually play a lot and not have it only with your dessert, but you can make it a nice aperitivo. Maybe with some fresh mint, a little bit of lime, some ice. It is super refreshing.
Sure. And have it for dessert as well, cioccolati, biscotti. I mean, this is just
Fruit
beautiful.
tarts.
Right, right. The hibiscus and the gardenia, it's so
Honeydew.
right, perfumey, but so thirst quenching. It's just smooth and delicate. I loved today's lineup. And Valentina, grazie mille for showing
Grazie a te.
Argonaut and all of our viewers and fans out there these amazing wines, because Miss Sheila's going to put them on sale. And you guys rush on down because these are a treasure. We're getting into autumn, cooler weather, and these would pair perfectly with whatever you're doing or with whomever.
Even butternut squash,
Oh, I like that.
even if it's a sweet wine.
Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely. So, Valentina, chin
Grazie.
chin,
Chin chin.
salute, and I hope
A
you come
presto.
back. Grazie.
Me too. Cheers.